Throne Liberty heroic gear is a question I get asked a lot in my streams of how to upgrade heroic weapons to cheapest. Now, I made a video on upgrading my heroic weapon on my legacy character, but they changed the way you do it because back then you could actually do blue tier 2 gear and tier 3 gear, but you cannot anymore. Now you can only use epic gear or the heroic traits themselves. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to upgrade my heroic weapon. I'm going to be doing it on my hyper boost character. I really didn't want to use my materials and do this, but I'm only doing this because of you guys' requests. I would appreciate if you give a thumbs up. So let's just jump into it. So I'm going to be buying the heroic weapon. I would not actually advise people to do this. If you can drop it, that's probably what I was hoping for because I want to save my shards. But we're going to be doing this for the stream or for the video. So I'm going to be doing it step by step. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to buy the orb. I'm going to hope to get 2 good lock stats on it and a trait that I can use. That's going to be my main goal. So let's purchase it. Boom. Now cross our fingers and see, please. Debuff duration, heavy attack, and critical hit chance. Actually, not bad. It could have been way worse. I was hoping to get one of the better traits, which is, you look here on the stat conversion, one of these like strength, dex, perception would have been really nice. But we didn't, and we're not going to pay 800 unlock stones or conversion stones to change this. But we're really lucky at where we got is the critical hit chance. That's actually massive for us because we needed that. The next thing we could get is mana cost efficiency and attack speed are like the two ones that I kind of want to get. But knowing attack speed is extremely expensive and mana cost efficiency is also expensive. The first thing I'm going to do now when I have this is either you could swap this by buying the trait, but the next thing you want to do is you want to unlock the trait that you want with unlock stones. So before I do any of this, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the auction house and I'm going to check out how much are the traits for tier 2 and for tier 1 and for tier 3. I'm on the hyper boost now. So first I'm going to check crit chance. And then I'm going to actually write down on my side so I know how much the traits are costing because it's going to be extremely important when you're actually leveling up your traits. So we're going to write down crit T3 is 140 lucent. And then we have the tier 2, which is going to be 60 lucent. That's actually a really good price. And then the T1 is probably going to be like 30 lucent, so it's not going to be really worth it. Unless you can get, yeah, that's not really worth it. So we're not going to care about the T1s. You can use T1s if you're in legacy servers because they go for like 10 lucent. But I'm going to show you guys why I'm doing this. And then we're going to look at the heroic trait, which is the trait that is most expensive. That is about 500 to 700 lucent. So 140 lucent for tier 3 and 60 lucent for tier 2. So if right now the crit one, it's the best one, is the tier 2 one. And then we're going to take a look at attack speed. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to look at attack speed because attack speed is something that I want on the weapon. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to look at attack speed traits. Attack speed, you have tier 3, 245 lucent, so double the amount of crit that the crit would give. And then attack speed, epic T2, be 120, also double the price. And then I'm guessing the heroic is going to be like 3k or 2k. 1.1k, not too bad actually, but still a lot. So 1.2 thousand lucent. So we're writing this down. I will be showing you guys at the end when we've done all this and why I'm doing this. And then last but not least, we have to check out mana cost efficiency. Mana cost efficiency shouldn't be that expensive. 330 lucent, which is actually very cheap. Mana cost efficiency, heroic is 330, and then we have the tier 3, 110 lucent, so even cheaper than crit. This is what I have. So the crit trait, as you guys can see, is let's make it heading. The crit tier 3 is 140 lucent for the tier 3, and T2 is 60 lucent. The T2 one is actually cheapest on the crit, And the heroic trait costs 500, 700. Attack speed is the most expensive one. It's 1200 per trait. Mana cost is also pretty cheap, and heavy attack is like in between. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use actually the crit trait to stack blessings and then feed my attack speed into my weapon. Now, how do I do this? So we're going to use this, and we're going to buy, this is important to know, when you actually try to trait this, I have an epic one. Now, the normal epic one, we're not going to be using this, but normal epic, you can see here, gives 80 blessings, while the tier 2 epic gives 400 blessings, while the tier 3 epic gives 600 blessings. That's how it goes. 80 for epic, 400 for epic 2, and then 600 for epic 3, and heroic just insta levels it. So you're going to stack blessings now. And why this is important to know is also every time I stack blessing, I have a 2% chance to actually hit the chance. And if I have an epic T2, I have a 10% chance. If I have epic tier 3, I have a 50% chance. So we're just going to buy one of each so I can show you guys what I mean with this. So we're going to go here. We're going to get crit. I'm going to use some loosen for you guys so you guys can see what I'm going to be doing. Let's just buy these real quick because we're going to be using these. 350 loosened. Ouch, that hurts my soul. But we're going to do this just so you guys can see. Buy, please. Sorry, it's a little bit laggy. All right, and then we have the epic tier 3, which is 140. I'm just going to use this just as an example so you guys can see. And then we will have, I think I might have an attack speed one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to buy this, and I'm going to unlock with unlock stones. Wait, I didn't think this through because we don't have the shards for this, which is a problem. So I low-key, I can't really show you guys how to do it since I'm missing the item. Because what you want to do here is, I can still explain how it works, but here I should unlock a trait, which is like attack speed with my unlock stones and trophy shards. And then this is the process. You will use these traits, and you can farm them. You have to buy them. You can actually farm them on the shelf in the dungeons, and you're going to be using this to get blessings. So blessings is going to be massive. Now that I fed the T1, I have a plus 2% if I use the blessings. We're not going to use them. We're going to use a cheap trait. So with the cheap trait, I'm going to keep doing this. I got another 400 blessings. That 15%. That was a tier 3. That was a 15%. So I'm going to keep doing this. Keep stacking. I'm not going to use my blessing. I'm just going to keep leveling it. If you get lucky, that's huge because you have a 10% chance to level it up. So this is what I'm going to keep going. Boom. Now you can keep checking how much blessings you have. We have 47 now. We can keep going. Now you have 57. We can keep going. And sometimes you're going to get lucky. You're going to hit the percent chance. Now when you get high enough blessing here, which should be around 3,000. We're going to buy a little bit more so you guys can see. We're going to go back to tier 2 because it is the cheapest. We're going to buy this right here. There we go. Then we go back to the traits. And now this, I should have enough blessing after I do this. So now what I would do in the best case scenario is I would have attack speed here underneath my face here. I would have an attack speed trait. Now that I've used the cheap traits to get enough blessings, I would buy an attack speed tier 3. So I'll buy an attack speed tier 3. Just thinking that I'm buying an attack speed tier 3 here, just so I can show you guys. And now I can actually level up the expensive trait, which is the attack speed one. With this, I have now I have 15% plus 85% chance. That should give me 100%. So this is how you will do the method. You will use the cheap traits, which is crit in this scenario, to level up your more expensive traits, which is going to be attack speed. Like, this is the same thing you can do with like heavy attack and other things, but this is the way you trade it up now because the other way is done. The best way is just farming the gear. If you can just farm the gear in open world dungeons and weapons and stuff and just collect all the weapons and keep them in your inventory, it's going to be the best way for you guys to do it. If you're looking at inventory right now, if you look at my inventory here, you will see that I have a cooldown speed. Let's see if I have a weapon with some max health, hit chance, heavy attack chance. No with no one with the attack speed, unfortunately. But this is how you will basically do it, and then this is the way you will trade it. I can also show you guys how to do the leveling of the weapon. The normal leveling of the weapon would be like this. I have 131 growth stones, so let's see how many levels we can actually get on this with 131. I'm 137. I'm hoping that I can at least get it to like level 10, but we'll see. Let's go. So at the start, it doesn't really matter how lucky you are, but you kind of want to try to hit the specials here, because if you guys know, you have a 10% chance to hit special, and when you hit special, you get 80% of this done. But the normal one is the common, which you hit, which will actually become smaller and smaller. And the common will give 25% now. The higher levels, it will actually give even less. It will give like 15%. So you got to get lucky. I'm going to do one by one just to see how lucky we get. Oof. But that was a good one. 6. So it really matters at the end of the levels. When you get on the last levels, that's when it will really matter if you can get lucky. Okay, I'm getting really lucky right now. Okay, now the only way for me to get it to level 9 would be to hit at least a greater or a special. Yeah, that was common. That was common again, and we're stuck at 8. So not too good right now, but it's not bad overall. At least you can look at the base damage now, and you will see that the base damage difference of this orb is a tier 2 one, is 92 and 170, while this orb, you can see the base damage is 110 to 203. So the base damage is already better than the shadowy sphere, but I'm missing their traits. That's why I'm waiting to get enough traits before I actually swap it over. But that is basically the process of how you level up your weapons. And when you're ready to imprint it, you will have your weapon here, and you can actually put in the imprint that you want. So you can extract your shadowy spear passive, which is the magical harmony, and you can put it into your heroic when it's high enough level. So when should you be doing this? So what I've explained this before is the way you guys should be doing this is when your weapon, you can actually trade half of your weapon, which means making sure that you can get at least your crit to 4 out of 4 and your attack speed to 2 out of 4. That is the time that you guys should actually think about actually leveling it up and replacing your current weapon, because then you actually have traits on it. So that's my plan, what I'm gonna do. Unfortunately, I need Calantia shards now. I was not aware of this, that I needed this. What I could do instead of using Calantia shards, guys, the other option that you guys have is you can buy the orb. Passive, which is going to be 1.3k, which I'm not going to spend. That's why you want to use unlock stones and Calantia shards. Extremely important to get. But this is the other option that you can do, is literally buy the traits, which is extremely expensive. So that's basically how you're going to be leveling it up and how you're going to be trading it. That's why you need enough Calantia shards. You need unlock stones. I've been telling people to only use everything you guys get from dungeons or 42 tokens to buy unlock stones, because you need that to make sure that you can actually trade out your heroic, because it's the most important thing. So that's basically the way to improve your heroic. But hopefully this video helped you guys out and you can do it for a little bit cheaper. Make sure you check how much each of these things cost before you do it, because at the end of the day, if the heroic trade is cheap, you shouldn't be doing it this way. But thank you so much for watching. Check out this video right here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.